Hi, this is Jen at North Boulder Counseling. I was going through my day going fast and feeling not very centered, and also not very good. So what I decided to do was to do a 5-minute meditation for myself. And that prompted me to think, you know what, I should do a meditation for whoever is out there and runs into this. If you ran into this, you're probably scrolling social media and maybe this would be helpful. So the title is going to say, stop, here's what you're really looking for, which is yourself. It is such a double-edged sword that everything we're looking for and everything we need is in ourselves, but also everything we're trying to avoid is also there. So here is hopefully a practice that'll help you get the more what you need and tolerate the things you're trying to avoid more so that you can stay longer with yourself and get the good stuff out. It is the foundation of all of my work and my life goal to make contact with the fact that all of the things we're searching for in our life is just right here, right in this moment. But in order to have those things, we have to be able to tolerate how we feel. And that's not always easy. So when we're scrolling down or we're going a million miles on this or we're fritzing around the house, some of those things can have their own kind of cathartic experiences of relaxation, but usually our most effective way of feeling satiated is actually coming in contact with ourselves. So I'm going to do a 3-minute meditation. I'm looking at my watch here to do some timing. There's all different kinds of meditation, right? So there's like, people think of like, stop all your thoughts and like be so peaceful inside, or go to the beach. Stopping your thoughts and being so peaceful inside is kind of a goal if you've been a monk for like 30 years. The really beautiful, elegant part of meditation, the meditation I'm going to teach you, is excellent meditation for anxiety and depression. And what it is the act of returning to yourself over and over and over with kindness and gentleness. You could just come back. So the actual point of the meditation is that your mind wanders, because that every time that happens, you have the opportunity to say, I want to come back to myself. And then you can also start to notice some cool things. You have that act of coming back to yourself. And then you can also start to notice which things are particularly enticing to me, so that I tend to go away really fast and it's hard for me to come back. Because then when you're not meditating, you have some good information about what things are kind of hooks for you. And with all of your great wisdom about yourself and your life experience, you can start to think like, one of mine is like stuff, like, having the right stuff for my son and having the right stuff for my office. And, if we're going on a trip, what are we going to pack? I realize I spent a lot of time thinking about stuff. And when I check stuff against my internal compass, I don't think it rates really high. So it feels like there's a part of my brain that has this agenda of like organizing and doing and getting all this stuff lined up and taking care of stuff that really is taking up a lot of bandwidth, but isn't in line with what I feel is important in life. So then I get to have that information, and sometimes I can get on the stuff train and chase it down for whatever kind of cathartic experience that brings. Or I can say, oh geez, you know what? I want to come back to myself. And it's such a brave move to come back to ourselves, because sometimes coming back to ourselves, we feel inspired and we feel full. But sometimes there's some steps before inspired and full that feel kind of raw and achy and like, ooh, maybe don't want to feel that. So I want to jump out and I want to do and I want to be and I want to interact with other. So let's do a 3-minute meditation right here, and I'll do it kind of some guidance, but I also want to leave you some space to see what your mind does and where it goes, and just keep inviting yourself back. To remember, the point is not to feel peace and equanimity. It's just constantly to return to whatever experience you actually are having. Say, oh, I'm tight in my chest, or oh, I feel kind of good, but my neck hurts, or whatever it is. You just keep coming back. So settle into your chair or wherever you're sitting. And congratulations that you stopped scrolling to watch this. And then you can close your eyes, or you can have your eyes just sort of downturned and squinty. So you're limiting what you can see. That can help. When you can see a lot of things, you tend to go away. So either close your eyes or turn your eyes down. Imagine all the places that your mind has gone or may be currently, and you're bringing all of that home. All of your thoughts, all of your energy, everything that was somewhere else besides right inside your chest is coming back. And it returns to you. And you feel the ease of having all yourself collected for a moment. And then become aware of your breath. Allow your breathing to be however it is. Notice what it is. And if your mind starts to go somewhere else, if you have a thought, you notice thought, then you let it go and you come back. Feel yourself doing this with immense gentleness. Just feeling the breathing. Collect the information that you have about being with yourself and in your body right now. If you notice preferences, likes or dislikes, you can label preference and let it go. All of your life force, all of your energy is right inside of you, none of it wandering. You keep inviting it back. You might notice how heavy you feel. Gravity. And with each breath, you're lifted up. And each exhale, you're set back down again. Heaven and earth with every breath. If you have a thought, notice thought. Come back to your collected self. Expand your breathing and notice how it goes all the way into your legs. It fills your arms, your toes. Every single cell is getting fresh oxygen with each one of those breaths. You can give your mind the task of being fully with your breath. Noticing preferences, likes and dislikes. Label it as preference and let it go. Become a researcher of your own experience. A combination of collecting facts and acting with complete gentleness and non-preference. Maybe we can call this home. Give it a word so that you can come back easily. Where your breath is, where all of yourself is collected here. Notice if it's uncomfortable. No judgment. Stay with that. Stay with whatever is the experience you're having, like you would stay with a good friend. Don't leave. Stay with yourself like you'd stay with a friend, no matter what you find. And keep bringing that breath. And as you drop the thoughts, And you keep returning home over and over and over, always coming home with all of yourself so you feel full. Try and imprint this feeling in your body so you have a cellular memory of it. Cellular memories are very powerful. So next time you want to come home, you can say to yourself, I want to go home. And you can close your eyes or turn your gaze down. Remember this place in your cells so that you can come back. This is your place. And you can open your eyes if you had your eyes closed. Whatever that feeling was for you, congratulations. There's enormous bravery in being with ourselves. And at some point, the gains become exponential. The skill to come back to ourselves is a superpower. It is, in my experience, the unlocking of things beyond our imagination. And initially can be incredibly uncomfortable. So if you have had this experience or other experiences of meditation where you thought, oh, I'm not good at this, or I don't like this, if you feel like you're not good at it and you don't like it, you're probably doing it exactly right. Because initially, when we have contact with ourselves in such an intimate and unobstructed way, it can be pretty startling. And we might bump into things that are kind of not so yummy. But they subside. You just keep coming home, keep coming back, keep coming back, keep coming back, like a habit. And when it becomes a habit, what happens is the things that were in the way, the wall that was in front of all of the self that we have, that's on fire inside of us, that is full of all the things the world needs and that we need, that wall starts to come down. And we have so much access to the things that maybe we thought we didn't know. Whenever I hear someone say, I don't know, it usually means we aren't in contact with that part of ourselves, because we always know. This time in our lives and in our world, I'm recording this during the 2020 pandemic of COVID-19, we are in particular need of people to know. You're not going to get to know from anyone else. We only get to know when we come home again and again and again. So I invite you to do this anytime that you feel lost, anytime that you feel confused, anytime that you're suffering. It's not supposed to always feel good. It's supposed to be yours, and it will always be yours every time you come. So thank you so much for showing up for yourself. It's so exciting because whatever is under there, the world gets to have it when you show up. That makes me so excited. And if you have more questions about this is one of my very favorite topics. So feel free to PM me or put questions in the comments below. Any way that you can contact me, I love to talk about this stuff. I have a bunch of blogs on it. It's just sort of a thing for me. So I'd love to support you, and I'm so excited for what you might find when you come home again and again and again, and you tolerate the discomfort that you find, and you keep going, and you stay with yourself like you would stay with a good friend. Okay, take care.